On a sweltering summer afternoon at Windsor Castle, the sun beat down on the ancient cobblestones, turning them into heat-radiating platforms. Tourists fanned themselves with maps, seeking relief from the oppressive heat. Amid the bustling courtyard, Sergeant James Winters, a royal guard, stood perfectly still at his post. His scarlet tunic and bearskin hat were striking symbols of British tradition, but Winters was no mere ceremonial figure. At 32, he was a decorated combat veteran with 2 tours in Afghanistan under his belt. His steely gaze had once scanned mountain passes for threats, and his hands, now gripping a ceremonial rifle, had once pulled wounded comrades to safety under heavy fire. The 2 medals pinned discreetly to his chest spoke of valor that most passing tourists never noticed. The day began like any other, a mix of camera flashes, curious children, and respectful onlookers. But, as the afternoon crowd shifted, a sharp voice cut through the pleasant murmur. "Excuse me! Some of us have places to be." The sea of tourists reluctantly parted as Patricia Holloway, a woman in her late 50s, pushed her way through. Her designer sunglasses perched atop her meticulously highlighted hair, and her expensive blouse, despite its quality, was damp with sweat. "This heat is unbearable," she complained loudly, her voice carrying across the courtyard. "Don't they know who's paying their salaries?" Winters remained motionless, his gaze fixed forward as it had been for the past 3 hours of his shift. But something in the air changed, a subtle tension that seasoned soldiers recognize as the prelude to trouble. Patricia stopped directly in front of Winters, her leather handbag swinging dangerously close to his polished boots. "You there," she said, addressing him as though he were a waiter who had brought the wrong order. "I need directions to the state apartments, and I need them now. We've been walking in circles for 20 minutes. Winters didn't flinch. His training was clear. Maintain position, eyes forward, no engagement unless there was a genuine security threat. Patricia, however, was undeterred. "Hello? Are you deaf?" she snapped, her manicured fingers clicking inches from his face. "I know you people can talk when you need to. I'm a taxpayer, and I'm asking you a simple question." The crowd began to murmur, some tourists exchanging uncomfortable glances. A retired police officer in his 60s, Martin Davies, watched with a trained eye. He recognized the warning signs of a situation about to escalate. Patricia's voice grew louder as she turned to the onlookers. "What exactly are we paying for?" "Decorations," she sneered. "Is this really your job? Standing around like a mannequin while visitors get lost?" Despite her taunts, Winters remained a picture of discipline. But when Patricia suddenly reached out and grabbed his throat, the situation took a dramatic turn. The crowd gasped as her manicured nails dug into his skin. Winters, however, didn't panic. With the precision of a trained soldier, he neutralized her attack in one fluid motion, using minimal force to restrain her without causing injury. "Ma'am," he said calmly, speaking for the first time, "you will step back now." His voice carried the quiet authority of someone who had commanded men in far more dangerous situations. Patricia, now immobilized, began to realize the gravity of her actions. Security arrived moments later, and she was led away, facing charges of assaulting a member of the armed forces. On a scorching summer afternoon at Windsor Castle, the heat radiated off the ancient cobblestones, creating an almost unbearable environment for the tourists gathered in the courtyard. Among them stood Sergeant James Winters, a royal guard whose disciplined bearing and immaculate scarlet tunic made him a living symbol of British tradition. However, Winters was far more than a ceremonial figure. At 32, he was a decorated combat veteran with 2 tours in Afghanistan. His steely gaze had once scanned treacherous mountain passes for threats, and his hands, now gripping a ceremonial rifle, had once pulled wounded comrades to safety under heavy fire. The two medals pinned discreetly to his chest told a story of valor that most tourists overlooked as they snapped photos and marveled at the historic setting. The day began like any other, with a mix of curious children, camera flashes, and respectful onlookers. But the peaceful atmosphere was shattered when Patricia Holloway, a woman in her late 50s, pushed her way through the crowd. Her designer sunglasses and expensive blouse, now damp with sweat, marked her as someone accustomed to privilege. "Excuse me! Some of us have places to be," she snapped, her voice sharp and demanding. Patricia's entitlement was on full display as she complained about the heat and the lack of assistance, declaring, "Don't they know who's paying their salaries?" She marched directly up to Winters, her leather handbag swinging dangerously close to his polished boots. "You there," she said, addressing him as though he were a servant. "I need directions to the state apartments, and I need them now. We've been walking in circles for 20 minutes. Winters remained motionless, his training dictating that he maintain his position and avoid engagement unless there was a genuine security threat. Patricia, however, was undeterred. "Hello? Are you deaf?" she snapped, clicking her manicured fingers inches from his face. "I know you people can talk when you need to. I'm a taxpayer, and I'm asking you a simple question." Her voice carried across the courtyard, drawing the attention of nearby tourists. A retired police officer, Martin Davies, watched with a trained eye, recognizing the warning signs of a situation about to escalate. Patricia turned to the crowd, her voice rising with each word. "What exactly are we paying for?" "Decorations," she sneered. "Is this really your job? Standing around like a mannequin while visitors get lost?" Despite her taunts, Winters remained a picture of discipline, his composure unshaken. Patricia's frustration reached a boiling point when she suddenly reached out and grabbed Winters' throat, her manicured nails digging into his skin. The crowd gasped in shock, but Winters reacted with the precision of a trained soldier. In one fluid motion, he neutralized her attack, using minimal force to restrain her without causing injury. "Ma'am," he said calmly, speaking for the first time, "you will step back now." His voice carried the quiet authority of someone who had commanded men in far more dangerous situations. Patricia, now immobilized, began to realize the gravity of her actions. Security arrived moments later, and she was led away, facing charges of assaulting a member of the armed forces. The incident served as a stark reminder of the discipline and professionalism embodied by the Royal Guards, and a cautionary tale about the consequences of entitlement and disrespect. The escalation of the conflict between Patricia Holloway and Sergeant James Winters is a pivotal moment in the story, highlighting the dangers of unchecked entitlement and the importance of maintaining composure under pressure. Patricia's behavior grows increasingly aggressive as her frustration mounts. After failing to elicit a response from Winters, she resorts to insults, calling him a mannequin and mocking his ceremonial uniform and role. Her words are sharp and demeaning, designed to provoke a reaction, but Winters remains steadfast, his discipline unshaken. This only fuels Patricia's anger, and her actions take a dangerous turn. In a shocking moment, Patricia crosses a clear line by physically assaulting Winters. She reaches out and grabs his throat, her manicured nails digging into his skin. The crowd, which had been watching the confrontation unfold, reacts with gasps of disbelief. The peaceful atmosphere of the Windsor Castle courtyard is shattered, replaced by a tense silence as onlookers process what they've just witnessed. Patricia's actions are not just disrespectful, they are criminal, constituting an assault on a member of the armed forces while on duty. Amid the chaos, Martin Davies, a retired police officer with decades of experience, observes the situation with a trained eye. He recognizes the warning signs of an impending escalation and understands the gravity of what has just occurred. Davy's presence adds a layer of authority to the scene, as he later provides a witness statement confirming Winters's professionalism and restraint. The retired officer's calm assessment of the situation contrasts sharply with Patricia's volatile behavior, underscoring the importance of experience and composure in diffusing tense situations. This escalation serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked entitlement and aggression. Patricia's actions not only endanger herself, but also disrupt the peace and safety of those around her. Winter's response, however, is a masterclass in restraint. Despite being physically attacked, he neutralizes the threat with precision and minimal force, demonstrating the discipline and training that define his role. The incident leaves a lasting impression on the crowd, many of whom gain a newfound respect for the Royal Guards and the values they represent. For older audiences, this moment is a powerful lesson in the importance of self-control, respect for authority, and the enduring value of discipline in the face of adversity. Sergeant James Winter's response to Patricia Holloway's aggressive behavior is a testament to his professionalism, discipline, and training. Despite being verbally insulted and physically assaulted, Winters maintains his composure, refusing to let Patricia's actions rattle him. When she grabs his throat in a moment of blind rage, he reacts with the precision of a seasoned soldier. Using minimal force, he neutralizes her attack, swiftly and effectively restraining her without causing unnecessary harm. His movements are calculated and controlled, a clear demonstration of his combat training and the discipline ingrained in him through years of military service. This measured response not only diffuses the situation, but also earns the respect of the onlookers, who witness firsthand the strength and restraint of a true professional. Winter's actions go beyond mere physical restraint. As he holds Patricia in place, he addresses her and the crowd with calm authority. He explains that his role as a royal guard is not just ceremonial. He is an active-duty soldier who represents centuries of tradition, discipline, and service. His words carry weight, reminding everyone present that the uniform he wears is a symbol of honor and duty, not a costume for entertainment. Winter's explanation serves as a powerful reminder of the values he embodies: respect, restraint, and a commitment to something greater than oneself. His ability to articulate this while maintaining his composure under pressure further underscores his professionalism. For the crowd, many of whom had initially viewed the Royal Guards as mere tourist attractions, Winter's response is eye-opening. They come to understand that these guards are not just figures in fancy uniforms, but highly trained soldiers who take their responsibilities seriously. Winter's restraint in the face of provocation also highlights the importance of self-control and dignity, qualities that resonate deeply, especially with older audiences who value respect and tradition. His actions and words leave a lasting impression, transforming what could have been a chaotic incident into a profound lesson in discipline, respect, and the enduring significance of service. Through his professionalism, Winters not only upholds the dignity of his role, but also reinforces the timeless values that define it. The aftermath of the confrontation between Patricia Holloway and Sergeant James Winters is a turning point that leaves a lasting impact on everyone present. As security and police arrive on the scene, Patricia is swiftly detained for assaulting a member of the armed forces, a serious criminal offense. Her earlier bravado evaporates as the reality of her actions sinks in. The crowd, initially shocked by her audacity, watches in silence as she is led away, her entitlement and aggression having led to dire consequences. This moment serves as a stark reminder that actions have repercussions, and disrespecting those who serve can result in severe legal and social consequences. For the onlookers, the incident becomes a powerful lesson in respect and discipline. Many in the crowd who had previously viewed the royal guards as mere ceremonial figures, gain a newfound appreciation for their role. Winter's calm and professional handling of the situation reveals the depth of training and dedication behind the uniform. The crowd begins to understand that these guards are not just symbols of tradition, but active duty soldiers who embody values like duty, restraint, and honor. This realization fosters a sense of respect and admiration, transforming the way they perceive the royal guards. The incident also underscores the dangers of entitled behavior. Patricia's lack of respect and her belief that she was above the rules led to her downfall. For older audiences, this serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of humility, courtesy, and respect for authority. The story of Winters and Patricia is more than just a dramatic encounter. It is a timeless lesson in the value of discipline, the consequences of arrogance, and the enduring significance of traditions that honor service and sacrifice. The story of Sergeant James Winters and Patricia Holloway is rich with key themes and messages that resonate deeply, particularly for older audiences who value tradition, discipline, and respect. One of the central themes is respect for tradition and service. The Royal Guards, often seen as ceremonial figures, are revealed to be much more. They are highly trained soldiers who embody discipline, duty, and sacrifice. Winter's composed demeanor and his explanation of his role remind us that these individuals are not just symbols of history, but active participants in upholding values that have stood the test of time. This theme encourages us to look beyond appearances and appreciate the dedication behind those who serve. Another critical message is the power of restraint. Winter's calm and measured response to Patricia's aggression demonstrates that true strength lies in self-control. Rather than reacting with anger or force, he neutralizes the threat with precision and professionalism. This serves as a powerful reminder that maintaining composure in the face of provocation is a mark of true character. For older generations, this lesson is particularly meaningful, as it reflects the values of patience and dignity that they often strive to impart to younger ones. Finally, the story highlights the consequences of entitlement. Patricia's disrespectful and aggressive behavior leads to serious legal repercussions, serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of arrogance and disregard for others. Her downfall underscores the importance of humility and respect in our interactions. Together, these themes weave a narrative that celebrates discipline, honors service, and warns against the pitfalls of entitlement, offering timeless lessons for all. The story of Sergeant James Winters and Patricia Holloway carries broader implications that extend far beyond the walls of Windsor Castle. It encourages viewers to reflect on how they approach conflict and treat others, particularly those in uniform. Winter's calm and professional response to Patricia's aggression serves as a model for handling difficult situations with dignity and restraint. It reminds us that respect and patience are not signs of weakness, but markers of strength and maturity. For older audiences, this is a valuable lesson in maintaining composure and treating others with kindness, even in the face of provocation. The story also emphasizes the importance of teaching respect for traditions and institutions. In a world where traditions are often dismissed as outdated or irrelevant, Winter's role as a royal guard highlights the enduring significance of these practices. They are not mere relics of the past, but living symbols of values like discipline, duty, and honor. By understanding and respecting these traditions, we preserve the lessons they carry and ensure that future generations appreciate their importance. Ultimately, the incident serves as a call to action. It challenges us to reflect on our own behavior and attitudes, urging us to approach conflicts with empathy and to honor the roles and sacrifices of those who serve. By doing so, We foster a culture of respect and understanding, ensuring that the values embodied by Winters and his fellow guards continue to inspire and guide us. This story is not just about one moment, it's a timeless reminder of the power of respect, tradition, and self-control in shaping a better society. The story of Sergeant James Winters and Patricia Holloway offers profound lessons that resonate deeply, especially for older audiences who value respect, discipline, and tradition. At its core, the incident teaches us the importance of self-control and dignity in the face of provocation. Winter's ability to remain calm and composed, even when physically assaulted, demonstrates that true strength lies not in retaliation, but in restraint. This is a timeless lesson for all of us. In moments of conflict, responding with patience and professionalism often yields more respect and resolution than anger or aggression. Another key message is the value of respect for those who serve. Wow! Whether in the military, law enforcement, or other public roles. These individuals often embody discipline and sacrifice, qualities that deserve our acknowledgement and gratitude. Patricia's entitlement and lack of respect led to her downfall, reminding us that humility and courtesy are essential in our interactions with others. Finally, the story underscores the importance of teaching and preserving traditions that honor service and discipline. For older generations, these values are not just ideals, but guiding principles that shape stronger communities. By embracing these lessons, we can foster a culture of respect and understanding, ensuring that these timeless values endure for future generations.